Hi, my name is Abe Elias, field editor of Knives Illustrated, owner of Diving Sparrow Knife Works, and master craftsman of Diving Sparrow Knife Works. I just want to talk to you a little bit today about design. I've already turned around and put a video out there of what my philosophy is on design. Design just isn't a philosophy, there's a lot to study about it. Over the years I've tested more knives than I care to count. And through them I found some good points and some bad points. And over my years of experience as a traditional woodworker, that means I work unplugged. All my tools, or most of my tools at the time when I was doing a lot of this, didn't have any electricity to them. I learned the value of a good comfortable handle that allows you good strong manipulation of any edge you're using. Every edge takes its own different form, every purpose and use. When we're looking at a knife for hunting or camping, the handle is primary. The whole piece that we're looking at here is a unit. By the way, this happens to be a very early prototype of my Savannah bushcraft model. When I look at designing a knife, it's very important to keep certain things in mind, and the major thing I keep in mind is you can have good blade geometry, but if you can't control the edge, you're not going to go anywhere with it. So here's actually some of the nuts and bolts. Rather than just talk about the philosophy, let's look at some of the nuts and bolts that goes into designing a handle. Your hand is made up of different groups, different areas, and you break it down into certain areas as far as looking at the usage of your hand. The whole hand is used to manipulate control, but certain parts of your hand are designed for finite control, exerting more strength and more manipulation over things. As we close our hand around a knife blade, we notice that the gap at the back of the handle is larger than the gap that we feel at the front, and most of the time our power is put into our cuts right through a support in the butt and the meaty palm part of our hand. So what we're looking to do is enclose the handle in that area and keep it good, solid, secure. A lot of rotating power is converted through the whole hand. You have to be able, you can get a lot of rotating through this part here, but it makes for a very weak touch-off point. The connection part of your pads of your hand on your fingertips all the way through and through the beginning of your palm should have some significant spot to grab onto. So when you design a handle, in the design of a handle should not only be contours to fit the hand, there should be platforms for the hand to push off of and manipulate it during control. The hand isn't the only thing that's used to control a knife. It's your whole arm. That's where a lot of your strength goes. And of course, a good stroke, a controlled stroke. But for the most part, if you can't grab onto it in the handle area, you're going to lose some control. No matter how much strength you get in behind your blade, you're not going to have what you need to execute a good proper cut. So a good handle design should have a widening towards the back a little bit depending on the length of the blade. And everything's in relations to the blade too. That's why it's a whole unit design. As the blade gets longer, you're going to find that you're going to need a little bit more arch to the handle so you can exert a little bit more control, and you're going to need to fill up the back of the hand because you're going to need the back part of this handle to act as your lever on what we'll consider our control fulcrum point, which is the index finger pinched between the thumb. So whenever you pick up a knife, just don't look at it. Grip it fully. See how it fills your hand. Don't pay attention to how it just fills your hand in contours and fits. Pay close attention to whether or not you've got pressure points, spots where you can lock the tactile pads of your hand onto and exert good control. And remember, the longer a knife gets, the longer the advantage of the fulcrum is away from you now. There's a greater lever out in front of you. Putting your thumb out behind the blade or in a hammer control spot, you're going to need a little bit more leverage, so then your handle's going to have to be angled a little bit. These are things that you're looking at in a longer knife. Of course, when you get into choppers, things tend to change a little bit because you also have to take into consideration the swing. Thanks for checking in with Diving Sparrow Knife Works. If you get a chance, find me at a show, pick up a knife, email me, ask me any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. As a reminder, Diving Sparrow Knife Works will be at the Atlanta Blade Show 2009 at the end of May, 29th, 30th, and 31st. I'll be row 22. Stop by, see me, say hi.